How are you, winners? Let's get ready to kick off another great week. First and foremost, let's go ahead and review what we did on last week, all right? We got to get those worksheets updated. We got to check our boxes, count our points. Are we continually getting more points every week? Because that's really the goal in all of this, is every week we want to make constant improvement. So are we getting more points than we did the previous week? And secondly, we want to always do, this is a great time, Saturday night, Sunday morning, to do your evaluation of what went well, what were my challenges, what are my critical tasks for next week. And those critical tasks have to be doing more of what went well and doing less of what your challenges were. So I'm always available if you guys are having reoccurring challenges and you want to talk through those. I'm here. If you guys want to celebrate some wins, you guys should be posting comments under these videos and letting us know what the wins are that you're having, so we can share those and we can talk more specifically about those wins, because what's working for you will probably work for other people too. And so we'd love to hear about it, but you need to celebrate these successes, because it's a tough gig out there, and it makes it feel good when you can celebrate your wins and other people can enjoy them with you. So let's go ahead and do that. So just don't forget your review. Hopefully you guys are participating in the weekly videos also, or excuse me, the daily videos also. The little 1-2 minute hits every morning that you're getting on your phone. Those are important. Those exercises are critical for retraining our brain on what we want to do, how to rethink things. And the biggest step that we're going to take, over this whole process is really thinking differently. And that's probably 2/3 of the battle. What we want to do is we want to retrain our brain to think like a winner and put ourselves in a positive situation. We want to be in a position to attract as opposed to chase. And all of that starts with how we think, how we communicate, and the habits that we build. So we need to continue to work on that stuff on a daily basis. And some of you are really doing well with that, and I'm proud of you. Others are, I don't have feedback on. So I don't know if it's working for you, if it's not working for you. If you feel like you're sort of far along in the process and you want to reset, I have new groups starting all the time, and I can just assign you to a group, and you'll start from scratch. You'll start from day one. So if you feel like you're a little behind, if you don't feel like it's working, maybe if you feel like you're not focused on the right limiting belief, then let's just restart you, and we can start from day one and just start the exercise of bringing that thing to the surface and moving it out of the way and replacing it. So all right, so for this week, let's jump back into, really we're going to talk about social media. We started talking about it 2 weeks ago. And I gave you some opinions that I had on social media. And 2 weeks from now, I'm actually going to have a Facebook expert on with me. And we're going to record video together. He's going to give you some really, really specific tactics to use. Before we go there, though, I want to rewind a little bit. And I want to talk about who we are on Facebook. And when we're on Facebook, we have to tell a story. And this goes for all social media. If you're going to be on Instagram, if you're going to be on LinkedIn, you have to think of it a little bit this way, that Facebook is your diary. And you want to talk about personal things. You want to talk about fun things. You want to talk about spiritual things if you're into that. You want to talk about business things. But there has to be more to your story than just business, because people are going to get tuned into that. All you're doing is trying to push your business, and then they're just going to scroll by you. So you have to mix it up, and you have to give a little bit of personal, whether it's going to a kid's soccer game or whether it's a hike that you went on. People just want to connect with you, and those are the people that in the future are going to connect with you and do business. But you have to be something more than an advertisement. They have to feel like they're in your world a little bit, like they're connected, and that's really important. So you think of Facebook as your diary, and the kinds of things that you would write in your diary, you wouldn't just write about work. You would write about, going to a new movie, or you would write about going on a hike. You would write about going on vacation. You would write about the kids' soccer games. You would write about your birthday. People want to experience that kind of stuff, so that's important. Instagram is like your photo album. If you were an old school photo album, when you just used to pick the book up and turn the pages, and people used to go through that with you, and you would enjoy the pictures together. And that's how Instagram should work. But it's the same philosophy. You don't just want to post open houses. You don't want to just post people who closed and thanking your customers. it comes across as a little self-serving that, hey, the only reason they're thanking is customers so that I know that they're a loan officer, so that I know that, that they're a realtor. And so we have to tell stories with all of this. We have to mix it up. The other thing that I want to spend a little bit of time on tonight is really having you consider, and we can work on it together, but we'll get started tonight, is having you consider writing a 1 to 2 sentence mission statement. And really, a lot of your professional posts should sort of tie into this theme of your mission statement. And what I mean by that is, for instance, my mission statement for you guys is, I have a passion to inspire and develop a new generation of professional whose focus is to be different and be better. And the result of those efforts will change lives and change legacies. And so when I do post professionally, I sort of keep it in the framework of that, of, I'm here to inspire and develop. And sometimes I post inspirational things. Sometimes I post, tactical sales advice. But I always approach it from my mission statement, which is to inspire and develop a new generation of professionals. And so you have to understand that as you create your identity, as you are the actor in this movie on social media, number one, when you post, it's like the advertisement for the movie. It's like the trailer. It has to be exciting, it has to be compelling, and it has to draw in a certain type of person. So for instance, when I saw the trailer for the movie The Notebook, I didn't pay attention to it because it's not something I would watch. When I saw the trailer for the movie Star Wars, I was immediately drawn in because that interests me. And we want to do the same thing. Not everybody's going to watch our movie. As much as we'd like to think that, it's just not going to happen. People don't care about that. People care about a certain type of movie. They care about a certain type of person. They care about a certain type of realtor. They care about a certain type of loan originator. And so we have to understand that when we make these posts, what we're trying to do is we're trying to attract those people who are interested in this type of person, this type of realtor, this type of loan originator. That's the key that we're trying to do when we post professionally. And remember, that's only a third of the time probably. So when we post professionally, we have to keep this mission statement in mind. And a few weeks back, I asked you to come up with a couple of adjectives to describe yourself. And we really need to start creating a mission statement. And maybe it's easier to come at it from this angle. And I'll give you something to think about, which is, who is your ideal customer, right? So let's go back to the movie scenario. If I said that my movie is a Star Wars movie, I would know who that customer is. I would know that they were a certain age group and they were probably more male than female. And I would know that, they had some commonalities among them. And I would identify those. And then that's who, when I made my business posts, that's who I would have in mind. And that's who I would be really targeting to talk to. Because too many times what we're trying to do is we're trying to talk to everybody on Facebook. And they're just not our clients. There's a certain small percentage of them that we need to lock in because we want that percentage who's attracted to people like me not to go to someone else. And so the hard work that we put in is actually to, once we've identified that ideal client, the hard work we put in is to identify what message is going to resonate with them, what movie trailer they want to see, what do they want to hear from me, in order that I can deliver that message. Understanding that a lot of people aren't going to interact with it. There's going to be a lot of people who don't identify with me as that professional, me in that movie. And so that's okay, because what I'm doing is I'm bringing in a much stronger lead. I'm bringing in a much stronger person that's attracted to me, so that when they do interact with my posts, and then I go to private message later, the direct messaging, and I thank them or I ask them a question, I know that there's pretty strong commonality just because of the way that I crafted my posts to begin with. So I know a lot of you guys go through social media training, and I know that the social media training teaches you some tricks and they tell you how to post and when to post. All I'm telling you is to put a little bit more thought, go a little bit farther, and understand exactly who it is you're talking to, and build a message around that. If you are, working on the west side of town and you have a certain neighborhood you want to work, or a certain demographic, age group, or maybe first-time buyers or veterans or immigrants or whatever that ideal customer is, just make sure that your posts are mirroring and matching the information that they would want to get from you. So that's very, very critical. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about and consider is the mission statement, because that's really going to put us in the right place so we understand who we're talking to. The next thing we need to do is we need to craft that message, and we do that. We start to do that. We start to have an identity, and we start to craft a message by writing a mission statement. And a mission statement should just be a couple of sentences. And it really should be what you are trying to accomplish professionally. And again, if you've identified your market segment, be specific. If I say that it's first-time buyers, right? That's I'm going to be the go-to person. I'm going to be the expert. I'm going to be the name for first-time buyers. Then my mission statement needs to reflect that. If it's veterans, if it's refugees, if it's immigrants, if it's go down the list, whatever that might be. If it's a particular neighborhood, that has to be in your mission statement. So it shouldn't be more than 3 sentences, ideally just about 2 sentences, and all you're going to do is just talk about yourself and talk about your passion for this. Give them a little bit of why you do this and what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so why do you do this, or what do you want to accomplish and why you do it, right? So mine is the what and then the why. It's my passion to inspire and develop a new generation of professional whose focus is to be different and better. That's the what. The result of those efforts will change lives and change legacies. That's the why. That's why I do this, because it's my passion to change lives. It's my passion to change legacies. It's my passion to affect generations, not just the person who's watching the video and making 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 more sales every month. I want to impact the next generation and the generation after that, because they've been set up financially, they've been set up emotionally to succeed and to experience things and do things different than their parents did. And so I just want to be a small part of that. So think of your mission statement. And again, I'll repeat mine, just so you kind of have a little framework and you can see the thought process behind it. The what and the why, right? It's my passion to inspire and develop a new generation of professional whose focus is to be different and better. And the result of those efforts will change lives and change legacies. So part of your exercise in your worksheets is going to be to start working on this mission statement. And I'd love it if you guys emailed those to me at maptosales.com. And it's maptosales.com. So I'd love to see a copy of your mission statement. If you're having trouble with it and you want to throw a couple bullet points down there and I can help you through it, that's fine too. But let's get these mission statements written this weekend or early in the week. And then that way we can start crafting them into our social media message. And what you're going to find is that when you've identified your market segment and you've written this mission statement and you understand the direction that you're going to go with all of your social media posts, you're going to start getting more engagement, and you're going to get it from the right people. You're going to get engagement from the people who are attracted to that message, which is really the key component in what we try to do with social media. Again, it's all about the story. It's all about them connecting with you. And that's why it's so important that even if you have set up a separate Facebook page for your business, I might have MJ Cordova loan officer. That's fine. You still let them experience some of your personal life. And I'm not talking about super personal details like, hey, I got in a fight with my girlfriend tonight and, I think she's moving out. It's literally just let them know, hey, I went hiking today, right? And post a picture of a pretty view. I was at my kid's soccer game and post a picture of kids playing soccer. It doesn't even have to be your kid. It can just be random kids playing soccer. It doesn't matter. They have to be a part of that story, and they have to know that you're there for more than just to pitch them on, if you're ready to buy or sell a home, please use me. They have to be connected with that story. That's why this isn't an online advertising. This isn't an online directory where that's appropriate, right? So if I was part of Angie's List or I was part of any other superpages.com or Dex knows, it's totally appropriate to only put business stuff in there. But this is social media. That's the whole name of it, is social media, which means there has to be a social component to it, with the exception of LinkedIn. You know, LinkedIn is where you can go wild with just posting professional stuff. But I wouldn't just post open houses. I wouldn't just post listings. People still need to know about you. The people on LinkedIn, if they're going to connect with you as a referral partner or they're going to connect with you to do business, well, it's more professional. You still need to post something other than listings. You still need to post bragging about you. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about social media today is, and we're going to go in it super in depth later, but I do want to cover it today because we have a little bit of time in the video, and I just want you guys to understand that when you post, please, please, please don't just post an open house. If you're posting an open house, let's start here. When you post open houses, when you post listings, you are not posting it to sell that house or sell what's the listing. What you are doing is you are creating a conversation about why someone should use you. Because the likelihood of somebody buying that house from you, because it's such a small percentage of your friends even see the post. Out of those small percentages of friends, probably half of them are other realtors or other loan officers. And then of the half that's left, the small percentage of those may not live in the neighborhood, may not be ready to buy, may not qualify for that price range. So you're not posting those things to sell a home. You are posting those things because you are auditioning for a role. And so when you post the listing, please post why that listing is going to sell. Please post the extra marketing that you do. Or post about why the home sold. If you're help somebody buy a home, post why you are the best agent for someone to use. And I know it sounds like bragging a little bit, but it's really, really important that you do that. And it's not just, you know, here's my listing on Hampton Street. It has to be, here's my listing on Hampton Street, and let me tell you why this house is going to sell within the next 16 days, whatever your number is. And then tell them, I market better, I work harder, I do more open houses. Whatever your thing is, your value is, which we can talk about more. But please sell you, not the house. Sell your process, not the house. Because what you're trying to attract is not one person to buy one home. You're trying to attract 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 people who see what you've done to list that house, see what you did to sell that house, see what you did to market that house, and then say, that's what I want, that's what I need. When we sell, or we should sell, or we should look for a house, we need to use this person because of this. And if you're just posting, you know, thank you for John and Mary for buying this home, other people aren't going to know why John and Mary used you, why John and Mary had a great experience with you. So make sure that when you're posting, especially the listings, the open houses, and the thank yous to people who bought from you, make sure, double extra sure, that you're giving them why that was a good transaction for that person. Whether you worked harder, you were more caring, whatever it is. You know, each of you is going to have a different value proposition. But it's very, very important that you give them a reason. This is you selling you, not you selling a house. Okay? So we're going to review. First and foremost, get those worksheets done. It is the most critical part of this program, is getting those worksheets done and completed every single week. Taking them serious as a business plan. Evaluating your week. How many points did I have? Was it more or was it less? What did I do well? What were my challenges? What are my critical actions going into next week? Next, you want to make sure that you're very intentional with your social media. Understand, A, who your target market is, and B, what the message to them is. I suggest you start by writing a mission statement. Once you identify that target market, write a mission statement that speaks specifically to that market. Anytime you post on social media, please keep in mind that it should come from the foundation that you built with the mission statement. Next, anytime you post a listing, post a sale, or post an open house, sell you, not the transaction. All right? I think this is some pretty solid stuff for you guys to work on. Again, I'm here if you need me. I will do anything I can to help you out. Please feel free to reach out to me by phone or email. I gave you the email earlier. My phone is 480-436-1820. And this is my passion, guys. So call me as often as you want. Text me if you have questions. But you know, we're a couple months in now, so we should start seeing effects of some of the cumulative work we've done, attitude-wise, skill-wise, if you're doing it, if you're engaging it daily. So we're far enough in now that if you haven't seen some changes, then you're probably not doing the exercises regularly enough. And if that's the case, let me know. We can figure out a review plan, or we can do a one-on-one meeting to get you caught up. But you know, let's really start digging in, and let's start getting these worksheets completed very, very thoroughly every week, so that we can start picking up some steam going into the summer. All right, have a great day.